we're back to my channel. Today I want to respond to Classical Yabby. Women are powerful as hell, debunking the feminist lie.
Now a lot of people on the internet also call her based mom. So Christina Hoff Sommers, her thing is speaking out about the problems with modern feminism. Now she is not conservative. She is a Democrat, and she and I disagree on some things. But on the topic of feminism, we do not disagree. And it was fascinating to hear her take on things, because all of a sudden I felt like, oh my goodness, everything I've been feeling actually has a reason. Now, one of the things that Sommers talks about is the fact that despite feminism saying that women are so strong, women are stronger than men, they also have women feeling like fragile flowers, and they think that women are victims. And the example that Sommers brings up very often in interviews is that when she went to Oberlin to give a speech, they set up a safe space so that women who felt overwhelmed by her speaking on this topic could go there and feel like they weren't being attacked. And this is a depressing thing to me, in that women are not weak. Women are strong.
I'm going to stop it there for a second. Yes, women are strong. We're not always weak. However, let's get on with the video and I'll show you what I mean.
Women are so powerful, and it makes me crazy to think about how often the left plays into this victim narrative. Feminists play into this victim narrative that women are victims of society, of the...
Abby. Victims of society. Abby, have you ever been a victim before? Have you ever had, and I'm going to give a trigger warning right now because what I'm about to talk about might trigger some people and I don't want to do that. Abby, have you ever been physically abused by a man? A man that was supposed to care about you? A man you were supposed to trust? And no matter how strong you were or are, you could still be a victim.
Patriarchy when we have so much power. This was the reason I made a video about a year ago about Taylor Swift's song The Man, her music video on The Man, which again plays into all of these stereotypes that women are weak and that men can do whatever they want, and that women...
Let me just point out that maybe not in America, but there are countries across the world where men can do whatever they want and do whatever they want. And feminism would not exist if there were never a need for it. Think back years ago, and you know, there were times women couldn't even own their own credit card. They could not vote. They could not, you know, do so many things we take for granted. And again, in countries across the world, did you know that in 2017, until 2017, there were countries in which men could legally beat their wives as long as there were no serious or lasting injuries? Yes, it is true. Look it up.
Are weak because society has made them that way. No. Women are very strong. And I'm really excited to talk about this today because it's a really important...
Women might be strong, but look at the example I used before. let's say that you're not an American woman. Let's say that, again, before 2017, which was not that long ago, if you were a woman born in a certain place, no matter how strong you were, if your husband decided he wanted to beat the crap out of you, he could do it. And the law would have just said, well, you don't have any lasting injuries, honey, so, yeah, we're not going to do anything to that man. True story, look it up.
Idea, and I think it gives women an opportunity to feel more fulfilled and feel happier than constantly feeling like a victim, which will only make you despondent. So, I'm really excited to get into today's video. I hope you are too. Let's get into it. So let's talk about...
So much to say. So much to say. Abby, do you know why domestic violence shelters exist? Why there's a need for them? Why? Why would we need them if women were never victims? Why? You clearly have never been in a situation where no matter how strong you were, the man in your life decided he had the right to put his hands on you for whatever reason.
Feminism briefly. Feminism is a very good example of the term semantic overload. If you don't know, semantic overload means when a term acquires multiple meanings and is used in a purposefully vague way, so you're not sure which meaning is being used at what time. The left is great at using words and phrases like this, and they put people on the spot by using them. But feminism is a great example of this. Feminism had 3 waves. Some people think there's a 4th wave now, and each wave was defined by different things. Now, the first wave was a good wave. The first wave of feminism was about getting legal equity for women. So very famously, we got voting rights in the first wave of feminism. But the second wave of feminism and the third wave of feminism started changing what feminism meant. It wasn't about being made...
Tired of paying rent? Are you constantly moving from one apartment to another? LGI Homes offers affordable new homes.
Made equal to men anymore and getting equal rights. It was about a lot of different things, and a lot of them are paradoxical to each other. So we think about the idea that feminism, it means sex positivity, that we shouldn't slut shame people. But then we also get the idea that it's sex negativity, that engaging in sex with men is actually a bad thing because we're allowing men to take advantage of us and use their oppressive nature in a sexual manner. It can mean...
Men, a lot of times, not all men, but yes, men do sexually abuse women all the effing time. Abby, where the F have you been?
Equality in the workplace. It can also mean that women must have equality in the workplace despite the fact that many women do not want to get to the heights of their careers and actually choose to leave high-powered jobs in order to stay at home and have families. That is a choice many women make, and feminism doesn't care that that is the case. They'll still say that women are not making the same amount of men, that they're making 78 cents on the dollar or whatever figure is.
Again, are you speaking of just American women, Abby? Or are you talking about women as a whole? Because the rights afforded to American women are not rights that women all over the world have.
Is in play today. Being feminist can mean being pro-choice, and that if you're pro-life, you have internalized misogyny. It can mean...
Again, I must stop, and if you hear any noise in the background, that is my dog. I am sorry. Abby, you can be pro-life and be a Democrat. You can be somebody who would never have an abortion, but you can be a person who thinks that, hey, I'm not going to have an abortion, but I'm not going to sit here and say that the government should have the right to say what a woman can do with her body and what she cannot. Not my business, not the government's business.
That you believe that there's an inherent victimization of women by society and the patriarchy. Now, the issue is this. When someone asks me, are you a feminist? What am I going to say? I say, of course, I believe in equality for men and women, but I don't believe in all the rest of this stuff, whatever else it means. What does a woman even mean to you? What do rights mean to you? This is why feminism is a dangerous concept, because it is not just about equal legal rights. It is not just about being equal in society. It's about a bunch of other things hidden under the guise of the title feminism. And what this made me realize is that feminists don't understand what the real strength of women is. They don't understand.
Again, and I'm going to say it again, Abby. Let's say that I am very strong, or any woman is very strong. However, let's say that you're somebody who is in an abusive relationship, and no matter how strong you are, there's someone stronger than you are, and they physically hurt you. They hurt you in other ways. So no matter how strong you might be, you are up against something that is stronger than you are.
Understand the strengths that are unique to us as a sex, and what is so exciting and powerful about being a woman. And the reason I was thinking about this was because I watched the movie Seven Brides for Seven Brothers. This is a musical that came out in 1954, and it's about a man named Adam Pontepee, who in the 1850s is a backwoodsman, and he lives in Oregon, and he comes to town, and he's looking to trade some wares as well as to find a wife, and he happens to find one, and her name is Millie. And Millie is actually the main character of the movie. She's been working in a boarding house serving all of these frontiersmen, and when a man comes in and offers to sweep her away to his beautiful cabin in the mountains and to his farm, she takes him up on the offer. She thinks it's beautiful. She'll be part of a sovereign household with her husband. And when he brings her up to the mountains, that is not what she gets. She walks into the cabin and finds that he had not told her about the 6 brothers that he has that live in the cabin with him, none of whom have been raised with a woman's touch. I mean, honestly, that's what it is. They are not civilized, they're all messy, and Millie has to make a choice. She has to make a choice. She could return back to town. She could run away from what she's been faced with, and instead she pushes up her sleeves, grabs her Bible, and says, I am going to build up the men around me and make this house a home. And she does. She makes all of the men in the movie better for having been there. She forces them to be the best version of themselves. She makes them eligible bachelors so that they can meet wives. She uses her strengths as a woman to make
people have to choose between crunchy peanut butter cups and creamy peanut butter cups, and they're here for just a limited time. You know everyone's gonna want these cups for an unlimited time, right? Or at least for snack time, and tummy time, and mountain time, time after time.
Ready to discover the bed of your dreams? Hurry in during Mattress Firm's big Memorial Day sale. Try the new Tempur-Breeze.
everyone around her better. And it's a beautiful film for that reason. Now, she doesn't ask the men to be weak. Instead, she encourages them to find the best parts of their masculinity. This is all indicative of what women's strengths are. Watching the movie, you wouldn't blame Millie for returning to her life in the town. That would make sense. She was kind of blindsided by this scenario. But the way that Millie's character decides to proceed forward is indicative of something greater. Women have a unique strength, and it gives us purpose and it gives us fulfillment. We set the standards for civilizations.
Abby. So much to say. Abby, if women really did set standards for society and those standards were followed, do you really think things would be as bad as they are in some cases? I'm going to tell you right now, if a man does not want to be better, he's not going to. Those that have lived a different life than you, Abby, can tell you from experience. Okay. I've known personally a man in my life that is no longer in my life for a reason. And here's the reason. He, from the get-go, said, I'm going to do whatever the F I want to do, and if you don't like it, you don't like it. He drank, was abusive, all of that. And nothing could change him, Abby. And if you believe that women can change men, sorry, that's stupid. Humans have free will. They'll do what they want to do.
Feminism doesn't give women credit for all of the power they already hold. So what are these unique strengths that women have? Well, number one is that women make men better. Modern feminism
No, they do not. Not in all cases.
says that anything men can do, women can do better. But the fact of the matter is, women and men are not the same. It's not about trying to compete for women to be better than men at what men are good at. It's about women embracing the things that make us strong already. We don't have to fight the urge to play video games for hours on end or to be ridiculously promiscuous. But men...
What? Women can be promiscuous too, Abby. Yeah, it's true.
do have those struggles, and it's our responsibility to help them not sink to their level. When feminists...
No. It is not your responsibility to help somebody who doesn't want to help themselves. If a man, let's say, is addicted to anything, let's say it's alcohol, then you yourself need to seek him help elsewhere. There's a reason they have addiction treatment. And if someone really is addicted to something, that's what they need to do. They need to seek treatment. They don't need a woman.
convince us that it's not our responsibility to take care of men and to make civilizations great. They're taking away a fundamental role. Loving. Through our love, we make things better.
You can love somebody, yet sometimes loving them is getting them the help that you yourself cannot provide.
As women, we take care of what we love. We build beauty around ourselves. We make houses into homes. We make communities better. We make men better. We make families stronger.
I'm gonna quit right now, because this is just making me angry. Please leave a comment below.